Social media platforms claim that, or they assert that they bring people together. They reduce the distance between people, and now we are closer to each other. In some sense, that is true, but it is also creating a lot of problems, which I'm going to talk about today in this video. Now, social media platforms have got some advantages, many, but they have many disadvantages and side effects. As an example, they destroy your focus, they keep you distracted, and I have talked about that in other videos. But today I'm going to talk about something which we haven't discussed earlier, which is that this perception of people coming closer, what is it doing to the mindset of our young people? Now, there was a time when you would compare yourself with maybe your classmate or your friend or your neighbor. Now, comparison per se, it's a very negative thing. It's always value destroying, it is happiness destroying, but still human beings, being human beings, we can't resist. It just happens to us. We just end up doing it. But now you're comparing yourself not just with your neighbor or your classmate, but with anybody else out there. Even if it's like a big celebrity living in, say, Chicago or in New York or in London or wherever, you get to see their posts. You can sometimes go and like them, comment and share and stuff like that. So you feel much more, you feel that they are also sort of in the reference set. So now we are comparing ourselves with the lifestyles of all these people out there, and the problem has just aggravated. But while this problem is bad enough, what makes it worse is that we are comparing ourselves not with somebody's authentic lifestyle, but a very curated version of their life. In fact, I remember when I was on Facebook, I used till around 2016, I was using Facebook, and then I just stopped one day. And I used to see that my friends, or at least my Facebook friends, when they would go to some fancy restaurant in New York, let's say, and there's some nice dinner laid out, they would take a photo and put it there. Same thing, somebody goes on a vacation, again, they will share photos. Now, nothing wrong with it. Obviously, people are happy, they should share. But here is what is happening. When the meal comes, you're not thinking about what's the taste, you're thinking about what's the right angle. How do I make it look nice on Instagram or Facebook? And now what's happening is you are getting a very curated version of somebody's life. Somebody goes through, let's say, the whole week and they are bored and tired and doing boring work. And then one day they have this nice evening dinner or party or something, and they'll put photos. But what about the rest of the week, which was boring and dull and drab? Did they share on Instagram? Of course not. Why? Because if they shared, nobody would want to see that. So you think this person has an amazing life when they just shared maybe like 1% of their life. Now, this curated version of lives of people around us, to us, it looks like that is how everybody is living. And we feel like, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not there yet. And this destroys all happiness. And if this wasn't bad enough, there is something worse. What is that? The worst thing is that now when you see this kind of, you see these artificialities around you, right? See that, okay, this guy has bought this big car, or somebody is so successful. We have now these artificial, unrealistic expectations. If you are doing a startup, you have to become a unicorn. If you take up a job, you need to get a salary for like 50 lakhs or 1 crore. You must have seen news items like in IIT, the highest salary was 1.5 crores, so some ridiculous number like that. Where does that come from? So one guy got some salary, maybe in US dollars, somebody took it, and maybe it's like it includes salary, stock options. We take everything, multiply with some big number, and now it looks like, oh my God, this guy is getting 1.5 crores. And the fact is, vast majority would be getting like just normal salaries, suitable for India's or at the level of India's economy. But we don't hear that. So now the expectations are, you're out of college, you have to do these massive things, you have to be a billionaire, you have to buy this car, you have to live on that island. And when the expectations are so unreasonable, unrealistic, what happens? Only one thing: disappointment, dejection. And when you are disappointed, when you're dejected, when you're feeling stressed, what happens? When you're anxious, what do? What's the first response? We want some escape from that. And how do you find escape? Check social media. So now just see this vicious cycle. You feel bad, check social media, feel even worse, and just to repeat. And this is a spiral, and the danger is people can just fall into it. And this will cause stress, anxiety, depression, everything, all these bad things that we don't want to get caught up in. So if you're using social media, we have to be very mindful and careful and be aware of these pitfalls. I'm not saying we should stop necessarily, but find some structure, do it certain parts during some slices of the day, and be aware that what you see is not what you get when it comes to the social media platforms. Thank you for listening. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, do consider subscribing to this channel, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.